Good morning, CC families. This is going to be Cycle 2, Week 19, New Grammar. We're going to start off today with doing our timeline. I have got the timeline cards lined up here, so hopefully you can see those and follow along. Normally with my class, we say them, and then we'll go through and sing them together. So here we go. Lincoln's War between the states. Reconstruction of the southern states. Dominion of Canada. Otto von Bismarck unifies Germany, Boer Wars in Africa, the Spanish-American War, and the Progressive Era. So now we're going to sing it. Lincoln's War between the states, Reconstruction of the southern states, Dominion of Canada, Otto von Bismarck unifies Germany, Boer Wars in Africa, the Spanish-American War, the Progressive Era. Okay, that's 2 times. Then what you can do is you can continue to do that with your children. You can do it in different ways. You can say it slow, you can say it fast, you can say it hopping on one foot, you can say it doing arm circles, you can say it doing jumping jacks, whatever works for your family, okay? All right, we're going to move on to math. Math this week is the area of a circle. The area of a circle equals pi 3.14 times the radius squared. Now, some of the kiddos have been learning a lot of the geometry information through the geometry song that is on YouTube. I will try to have that link available for those of you that are not familiar with it. But the tune goes something like this. The area of a circle equals pi times the radius squared. The area of a circle equals times pi radius squared. Excuse me, I fumbled that a little bit, but I think you get the point. You can do that again up to 7 times. Okay, we'll move on to history. This week's history is tell me about the Korean War. In 1950, General Douglas MacArthur led United Nations forces to stop communist North Korea from capturing all of South Korea during the Korean War. I have the song set up on my phone for those of you that may not have the CD. I will play it for us, and then we can, normally what I do is then I'll stop the song and we'll try to do it without having the music. Here we go.
Week 19. Tell me about the Korean War. In 1950, General Douglas MacArthur led United Nations forces to stop communist North Korea from capturing all of South Korea during the Korean War.
Very jumpy.
In 1950, General Douglas MacArthur led United Nations forces to stop communist North Korea from capturing all of South Korea during the Korean War.
Goes through again.
1950, General Douglas MacArthur led United Nations forces to stop communist North Korea from capturing all of South Korea during the Korean War.
Okay. Do that at least one more time through to get your 7 times in. And again, if you can, try to do it without the music. But if you need the music, go ahead and use that. So, Latin this week, we are now doing first conjugation endings, perfect tense. There was a neat little way to kind of remember this that I saw, and it's if you're having a perfect day, you just want to say, wee! So that may help you remember that the E is where we start out with our perfect tense. So it goes like this. E isti it, emis istis erant, first conjugation, perfect tense. Okay, I've also got some little cards that we can do that will help us to switch it up a little bit for our kids and make it a little more interactive. My first one is to say it while hopping. Okay, here we go. E isti it, emis istis erant, first conjugation, perfect tense. Okay, Now we're going to do it while flapping our arms. E ist die it, emis ist es errant, first conjugation, perfect tense. Our next one is going to be hold your nose and say it. E ist die it, emis ist es errant, first conjugation, perfect tense. Lovely. Okay, now we're going to say it while balancing on one foot. You pick a foot, see if you can do it. E ist die it, emis ist es errant, first conjugation, perfect tense. All right, now we're going to jog in place. E ist die it, emis ist es errant, first conjugation, perfect tense. One more time. Now we're going to clap while we say it. E ist die it, emis ist es errant, first conjugation, perfect tense. All right, and that's our 7 times for Latin. Now we're going to move on to geography. You are going to need your world map. You're going to need this over here. What I did is I went ahead and circled the area where we would be focusing today. So we are going to be looking at Southeastern Asia. The countries that we're going to be looking at are North Korea, South Korea, we have Taiwan, the Philippines, and over here we have Guam. Now, how I would do this if we were in our class is I was going to give my kids beans, little dried beans. Dry cereal would work, possibly buttons if they're really small, but you need something that's small because the area we're looking at is in fact kind of tiny. So I would say go ahead and put a bean on North Korea. Then we're going to move south and we're going to put a bean on South Korea. We're going to go farther south to Taiwan, a little bit farther south to the Philippines, and then we're going to head east over to the island of Guam, and we would put a bean there as well. Okay, then I would say, okay, now go and pick up your bean from Guam. Go ahead and pick up your bean from the Philippines. Go ahead and pick up your bean from Taiwan, and so on, until you get that 7 times in, okay? All right. For science, we are now going to be looking at the first law of thermodynamics. There are quite a few videos online if you are really struggling with these laws. The one that I found that worked the best for me today was to the tune of the Hokey Pokey. I do not know if it works with all 3 of the laws of thermodynamics, but it does work really well with the first one. So that's where my focus is today. We'll go ahead and read it, and then I will show you what that sounds like, okay? All right, what is the first law of thermodynamics? The first law of thermodynamics states that energy cannot be created or destroyed. Okay, so here's the song. What is the first law of thermodynamics? The first law of thermodynamics states that energy cannot be created or destroyed. What is the first law of thermodynamics? The first law of thermodynamics states that energy cannot be created or destroyed. Okay, and then you can do that a few more times in order for your kids to get those 7 times in. Okay, really catchy tune, a tune that most people know. For you mamas that would rather have a definite song that has all 3 laws together, there is one that goes to the tune of, I believe it's Let It Go. It's one of the Frozen songs. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, but I thought it was a little complicated, so I just steered clear and went with the Hokey Pokey. Lastly, we're going to look at English.